is worldwide, and today the World Cup enters one of my favorite stages of the tournament, the quarterfinals. Today's spotlight is all on France versus Morocco, a match with star power, pressure, history, and a place in the semifinal on the line. So, if you want the big picture before kickoff, the storylines, the players, the danger zones, and what could decide it, I've got you covered. This is your World Cup in 10 minutes. This is not just another knockout game, this is the first quarterfinal of the tournament, which means by the end of today we'll know the first team heading to the Final Four. And it's a fascinating matchup because these teams arrive here with very different identities. France look like one of the strongest teams left in the competition. They've got elite attacking quality, tournament experience, and the kind of players who can change a match with one touch. Morocco, meanwhile, feel like one of the most dangerous remaining sides in the entire bracket. They've already shown they can defend with discipline, stay emotionally composed, and make life miserable for bigger-name opponents. Their run has been built on structure, belief, and the sense that they genuinely think they belong here. So this match is about more than who's better on paper. It's about whether France can impose their quality, or whether Morocco can drag this game into exactly the kind of battle they want. France have looked like a team that knows exactly what it is. They came through the group stage with the kind of calm you expect from a contender, and then in the round of 16, they beat Paraguay 1-0 to book this quarterfinal place. It wasn't a wild performance, but it was controlled, efficient, and professional, the kind of knockout win that says a lot about a team's maturity. That's the thing about France in tournaments. They don't always need chaos, and they don't need 10 chances to hurt you. If they control the rhythm and stay compact behind the ball, they can win a quarterfinal without ever looking frantic. And of course, when you have elite attacking talent, one clean moment can be enough. Morocco's path feels different, and that's part of why they're so interesting. They beat Canada 3-0 in the round of 16 and came into this quarterfinal with real momentum. But what stands out even more than the result is the way Morocco have built their identity in this tournament. They're organized, aggressive in the right moments, and they don't look intimidated by the occasion. This is a team that understands how to stay in a match. They don't need to dominate the ball to be dangerous. They don't need to be louder than the opponent to control the emotional temperature. Morocco can sit deep, defend in numbers, and then suddenly punish you in transition. That makes them extremely uncomfortable to play against in a quarterfinal, where margins are tiny and nerves matter. If I had to define this match in one sentence, it would be this: France's star power versus Morocco's structure. France have the bigger names and the more explosive individual talent. Morocco may not have the same superstar billing, but they have a collective identity that can turn a favorites night into a grind. That's what makes this so good. If France get the kind of open game they want, space to attack, room for their forwards to isolate defenders, chances to run at the back line, they can take control quickly. But if Morocco keep the match tight, disciplined, and emotionally heavy, they can force France into the kind of quarterfinal where every attack feels rushed and every missed chance gets louder. This game may not be decided by who plays prettier football. It may be decided by who gets the match to feel more like their match. Can Morocco survive the first 20 minutes? France are the kind of team that can hit fast and make a quarterfinal feel over before it settles. So Morocco's opening phase matters a lot. If they can get through the first 15 to 20 minutes without giving France an early breakthrough, the pressure begins to shift. Suddenly, France are the team expected to solve the puzzle, and Morocco can start dragging the match into their tempo. Can France break Morocco without overcommitting? One of the dangers in a game like this is impatience. If France push too hard too early, they can leave space behind them. And that is exactly the kind of space Morocco can attack. France need to be aggressive enough to create danger, but balanced enough not to hand Morocco transition moments. Who handles the final half hour better? Quarterfinals are emotional. Legs get heavy. One mistake becomes huge. If this is still level late, then the mental side becomes everything. Who stays calm? Who manages the moment? Who wins the next duel? Who trusts the game plan? That's where this match could flip. Now let's get to the watch list. For France, the obvious focus is Kylian Mbappé. Because when France need a game breaker, he's the kind of player who can change the entire match in one action. Whether it's a run in behind, a 1v1 moment, or a finish from almost nothing, he gives France a threat that changes how Morocco have to defend. But it's not only about the headline star. France's midfield control and fullback decision-making could matter just as much in a match where patience is going to be tested. For Morocco, Morocco's key players may not get the same global spotlight, but this is the kind of match where their discipline, timing, and defensive reading could decide everything. One recovery tackle, one smart counter, one calm pass through pressure. Those are the moments that can change a quarterfinal. And if Morocco do pull this off, it probably won't be because one player carried them alone. It'll be because the entire team executed the plan. One of the reasons I love this matchup is that it feels bigger than tactics. France versus Morocco is the kind of World Cup game that carries football, identity, diaspora, and emotion all at once. There are real cultural links between the two sides, and that gives the match a layer that goes beyond the bracket. It's part football, part history, part belonging. And that's exactly why World Cup quarterfinals can feel so powerful. So yes, this is about who reaches the semi-final. But it's also about pride, representation, and a global audience seeing two very different football stories collide on the same stage. If France win, France keep their title push alive and move one step closer to another World Cup final. It would also reinforce the idea that they are one of the most complete teams left in the tournament, a team with both talent and tournament control. If Morocco win, then this becomes one of the biggest stories of the World Cup. Not just because it would be an upset, but because it would confirm Morocco as more than a feel-good run. It would mean they've taken down another heavyweight and earned a semi-final place on merit, organization, and nerve. That's a massive statement. So what's my read on this one? I think France enter as the favorite, and for good reason. Their individual quality is real, and if they score first, they'll be very hard to stop. But I also think Morocco are exactly the kind of quarterfinal opponent that can make a favorite deeply uncomfortable. So if France win, I think it's close. If Morocco can keep this level deep into the second half, this could become one of the most tense matches of the entire quarterfinal round. My prediction? France edge it, but Morocco make them work for every single minute. And just so you know what's coming next in the World Cup, after France versus Morocco, the quarterfinal slate continues with Spain versus Belgium, Norway versus England, Argentina versus Switzerland. So today is not just about one game. It's the beginning of the final push toward the semi-finals. That's your World Cup in 10 minutes quarterfinal preview. I'm Ms. Worldwide, bringing you the world's game one language at a time. If you're watching France versus Morocco today, come back after the final whistle, because I'll have the full recap, the turning point, the player of the day, and what it means for the semi-final race. One world, one game, every language.